In this lecture, we will implement a shopping cart. So we will implement the shopping cart using a database. So first, let's see the database design. To implement the shopping cart, we have created a table by the name cart. It has three fields. Session ID. Session ID will represent the user, and whatever product user will click to add in the cart, the product ID of that product will be saved in the PID field, and by default quantity of 1 will be saved in the quantity field. So let's say if I am using a shopping cart and I add 3 products to the shopping cart, so there will be 3 records in the cart table. Each of those records will have session ID that is assigned to me by the server, and the product ID that I have selected, and the quantity of 1 against each product. Now let's see the database table. Okay, so this is the cart table. It has those 3 fields: session ID, product ID, and quantity. The add to cart page will receive product ID from the products table. Now add to cart page and the products page and the category page, these pages are saved at the user side. I will show you the working of this. Let's go to when the user will open the shopping cart application, the home page will display the list of all the categories, and each category name is a hyperlink to the products page, and it will pass the product ID, the category ID to the product page. So you can see in the status bar that when we move cursor over a category name, you see the link to the products page along with the category ID that is being passed to the products page. So let's say if we click on mobiles, see products.php with a query ID having category ID is equal to 2, which is passed to the products page. Now the product page will receive the category ID and display the product name, its price, description, and a link to add this product to the cart. At the top of the product page, there is a link to show the items we have added in the cart. So, okay, let's first clean the, if there are any records, we have to clean them. Right now the cart is empty. Suppose I click on this will this image is a hyperlink to add to cart page, and it will pass the product ID of this product to the add to cart page. This is the add to cart page. It will receive the product ID. It will create a session, or if a session is already created, it will open up a session and it will get the session ID of the user. It is also passed the category ID. This is not much important. We receive the category ID so that when we go back to the product page, we display the same page from which the user clicked the add to cart link. We save 1 to the quantity. So actually we need these 3 fields: session ID, product ID, and quantity. Okay. We have statistic action. First of all, we check that whether against this session ID and this product ID, a record already exists in the database or not. Because let's say I have selected this product, I have clicked add it to the cart, and if I click it again, its quantity should be incremented instead of adding a second Samsung S10 record in the cart table. So to increment the quantity, we check whether this product ID and this session ID already exists in the table or not. So select quantity from cart where session ID is equals to this session ID and product ID is equals to this product ID. If we get the quantity, it means this product is already entered to the cart. So in that case, we set the exist value to true, and then we check if the record already exists. The query will be update cart, and we will simply increment the quantity field in this record. And if this product ID against my session, this record does not exist in the cart table, then we will add a new entry in the cart table with my session ID, with the received product ID, and with the quantity of 1. And once the record is added or updated in the cart table, we will redirect back to products page, and we will pass the category ID we have received so that the same product page is displayed to the user. So let's check this out. So because I clicked here once, you can see that now the cart table has one record added, product ID 1, quantity 1, and this is the session ID that the server has assigned to me right now. Now let's say if I again click this, a second record of product ID once against my session ID should not be entered, rather my quantity should be incremented. So when I click this one again and I check so now the quantity is incremented by 1 and now the quantity is 2. So this is how a shopping cart will work, and I am using a database table for the implementation of shopping cart. Now the view cart page. If you click on view cart, I want to see the products that I have added, how many quantity of each product, and along with the billing information. So the view cart page will show me the product name, the quantity of that product, the unit price of that product. It will calculate the row total, and at the end the overall total or grand total if I have multiple products. So just for let's add another record to the product table, category ID again, let's say mobile, suppose iPhone X. And in description. Now let's go to again the products page. Sorry, the link is wrong. Yes, mobiles. Now I have two mobiles, and let's say I add the iPhone as well, and then I go to view cart. So I have selected one iPhone and two Samsung S10. So this is the individual total of each item, and here is the overall grand total of these items. Now let's see the coding of view cart page. View cart page will simply uh, read all the records against my session ID from the cart table and display them. However, as we have seen in the database diagram, that the cart table has only a product ID field. It doesn't have the product name, and also it doesn't have the unit price. So we have to link cart with the product table, and we have to read the product name and the unit price from the product table. So overall, we will read name of product from product table, quantity from cart table, unit price from product table, and then we will create a calculated field in our query by multiplying quantity into unit price to get the row total. And while execution of the loop, we will calculate the overall grand total. So first I got the session ID, and to get the session ID I have to call the session start function in the start of the page. I have created a variable by the name total and assigned the value 0. Now this is the query. Select name, quantity, unit price, quantity into unit price from cart, product, where cart dot product ID is equals to product dot product ID and session ID is equals to $SID. It means it will read all the records from the cart that match with my session ID. Now I will loop over all these records and I will fetch the value of these fields in different variables. So sorry, it's not PID, it's actually the first is, it should be named $name. So name. So I have read name into name variable, quantity into quantity, similarly unit price into unit price, and this row total into row total variable. And to calculate the total, I have added row total into total. Plus equals to means total is equals to total plus row total. This is equivalent to total is equals to total plus row total. It means whatever the value in the total variable is, add that value to the value of row total and put the answer again in total. So first time total is 0. Let's say the row total is 10. 0 plus 10 is 10. 10 will be saved in total. And let's say in the next iteration, the value of row total that comes from the database is 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15, and 15 will be saved in total. So that's, in this way we will calculate the overall total or grand total in the variable name total. Now we will display the record formatted in a table row. So the first cell will show the name of the product, second cell will show the quantity of the product, third cell will show the unit price, fourth cell will show the row total, and at the end we will display the text grand total and then the value of grand total. And at the bottom of the page we have written a link to added a link to checkout page that will get the customer name and address, and finally the product if the user presses the checkout button, so place order button, the order will be placed. We will see in the next video.